the Oakland Raiders. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Come on now, let's go. Sunday.
Now the first carry for LaShawn McCoy. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
While we know that the identity of this offense is to throw the ball, they've got to run it every so often, if for no other reason than to tamp down the pass rush. They can't let them just tee off and get to their quarterback.
Throwing now is Wentz. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. And he's into the clear. Past the 20. Touchdown, Jaguars. Calvin Ridley, 76 yards. And the Jags have taken the early lead. Well, that's how they envisioned it. Get the football to start the game and score it.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoyed the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Green, 39.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
Detroit!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 11 more on that one and another first down. So back-to-back big runs picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
Detroit!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. The first down line at the 34 here on 3rd down.
Detroit!
Back to throw here. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. That one good for 7 as this long drive continues and the chains move again. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on third down. They did. Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far. And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it. I didn't offer mine. You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well. They'll run it now out of the gun. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll be a loss of 1. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll drop to throw. Looking for Cooks, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And he will take it across midfield and down to the 45. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried? You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals, and if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well. Over the middle, that's caught by Ridley. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A very solid gain of 27. Wentz now already over 100 yards passing in just this first quarter. It's 1st and 10.
On the ball.
Working from the gun, Wentz. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, 2nd down. I know in every game we do, we talk about momentum. That was a momentum play lost. And now there could be a letdown because they didn't get the interception. Yeah, you could almost hear the collective gasp on the sideline as he could not come up with that football. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Shotgun now for Wentz. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. There are a good number of coaches that any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down. So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. Wentz to throw again. And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25. We always talk about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made. And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. Maybe a little fortunate there. That was leaking a little, maybe leaking a lot, but he got it. Yeah, he actually was able to make it work. How about the body language, though, right? As he watched that ball leak to the right, trying to
bring it back in, and had just enough to get it done.
The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 7 yards the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Detroit!
Looking to throw. Throwing a slant pattern here, complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. And a quick slant gets exactly 10, and by the nose of the football, they've got a first down.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39. No, check, Patriot. Gun.
Now a play fake here on first down. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. Back-to-back nice plays. 12 yards that time and a first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Detroit!
They'll run it now out of the gun. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gun.
They'll set up to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A very solid gain of 27. Well, this is how you shape the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident and keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
They'll look to throw here. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, then no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give them confidence and let them knock it through.
And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Going up top, and the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Wentz. Going deep here for Bryant. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Well, let's see how the offense still out there. They elect to go on 4th and 11. They do go for it. It's Wentz. Trying to get it to Adams, but it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 46.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
They go play action here on 1st down. He's letting it fly for Cooks. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Brandon Cooks, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders, they're within an extra point of tying this thing up. Point after up and good. And we are even at 10 apiece. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. Short kick. It's taken to the 23. And they're going to have really good starting field position here as that's taken up close to the 40. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack, but see how they attack them here. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A really good pickup of 28 yards. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there.
And this is caught inside the 5. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
Tell the truth, partner. You didn't think he was coming down with that one, did you? Come on, tell me the truth.
No, I didn't. I'll tell you what, though. A one-handed grab of that length. Talk about giving your team a little juice. And he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. Carson Wentz with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Jaguars have moved out in front. And they wasted no time right down near the goal line, and they just sneak it in.
Just do what you need to do. Big guys going up front, have the field general, the leader, just fall in behind them.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes it a 17-10 score. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the inline. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out touchdowns on back-to-back drives. So a very good flow right now offensively.
Hard to slow them down, too, because they are locked in. Feel like the offense coordinator is a little bit ahead of the defensive guys right now. They're beating them to the punch with their play calls. They've got a nice rhythm they're locked into. How can the defensive guys come up with something that'll disrupt that flow? That's what they're seeking right now.
Well, it's been an exciting sequence to watch. Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a first down. Right back to him on first down. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
On play action, they'll throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
My, oh my, they've had some success bringing him off the edge. How about the gambling man who's the defensive coordinator? He's not just bringing pressure. He's bringing a corner to go after the quarterback.
And it's worked twice now, twice like a charm.
And not only has that worked like a charm, he's been awfully disruptive in his usual role covering receivers. Now he's rushing the passer as well.
Hey, check. 3 down. Detroit!
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Here's the Raiders punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And taken right at the 35. Call that 49 yards on the punt. They do get 7 back on the return. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. They're starting to put some space here. You know, first quarter, they didn't look so hot offensively. This second quarter, though, they've looked really good.
They've jumped in the saddle in a big way now, and now they're in full gallop. I mean, before, kind of cantering around a little bit, right, trying to feel their way, not getting done what they wanted to. But somehow they put it together with play calling, execution, and now there's a pretty big gap.
And they'll look to make that gap even bigger here. 1:59 to go in the first half. We'll come back to Oakland after this.
Great 15. Great 15. Don't go. 180.
Wentz to throw on second down. And this is caught by Martavis Bryant. 23 yards on the play. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Wentz now on first down. And Bryant's got it over the middle. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 more yards there and another first down. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
And he's going to go down. He's sacked back into 24.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Now Wentz. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. J.J. Watt in there for sack number 85 of his great career, moving him past Hall of Famer Howie Long on the all-time list. Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Wentz now to throw. Flushed out right. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Adams. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He connected on his first. This time it's 39 yards away. And his kick is indeed good. And they double him up here. That makes our score 20-10. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
They'll throw now on the final play. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. It's caught inside the 25. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Jaguars out on top. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But this is do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Earl Thomas in on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping.
Now the ball comes loose. And did the Jaguars come up with it? They did.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now after the fumble recovery, it's Wentz. And the Raiders have got him.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On play action, it's Wentz. Escaping the pressure right. And some room to maneuver. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Now Wentz on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And, yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. And his kick is good. And that will stretch the lead up to 13. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. So what again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
He'll look to throw. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. A very solid gain of 27.
All right, now look at 56.
This quarterback now 12 of 15 throwing the ball, 80% so far, and it's 1st and 10. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. The safety, Rashad Jones, brings him down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Over
And they'll run it here. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
I liked his focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need one. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up two.
They'll set up a throw. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's second down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. The kidder here, it's complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green.
Back to throw here. Sliding out of the pocket. He can run for it, and he will. So no sack. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but it'll still bring up a 4th down.
Well, there was pressure all around him, so the only play was to try and get out of there. I think it was an excellent effort by him just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost, and that gets him back within 10. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on,
one?
what does that mean, break out that just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that part. I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they load him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 23 yards on the play. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Play action. Now Wentz. And this one caught by Delaney Walker. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. First down, Jacksonville. The passing game looking sharp on this drive for the Jags.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, you can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover. The angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction.
And down he goes, brought down a Raiders sack. Muhammad Wilkerson, busting through to get him for a loss of 6. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Working from the gun, Wentz. Just keeping the play alive. Caught on the right side by Adams. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down.
Shotgun now for Wentz. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got them pinned down deep. And on the first play, they gave up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on 1st down. That's what they talk about to us all the time, about being ahead of the chains or on target, ahead of schedule. They were after that run.
And he will lose yardage here back to his own 6. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll make it 3rd down. He already has 2 sacks to his credit, now another tackle for loss.
And you know how you can always identify who was supposed to block him? They're the ones helping up the person who just got knocked to the ground with the ball, right? Whether it's a running play or a pass play, they've got to figure out a way to slow him down. Maybe you chip him with a second guy. Maybe you just out and out double him. Maybe you make sure you take the ball and throw it as far away from him as possible. Because right now, he is wrecking things for them.
The big play has him all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10.
Gun! 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 Gun!
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Oh, nearly a disaster there on the check down. But they'll get it back.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney! Gun! 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 Detroit! Detroit!
And on the ground they go with a running back. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for an Oakland first down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Back to throw. It's caught left side by Cooks. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. He had their lone TD earlier. Now he's got a first down. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
And he'll go on the ground. And he stopped immediately there. A tackle that time by Akello Witherspoon.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Going right side here, and that's complete. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And his kick is good. And this is back down to a 7-point game. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
And there's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal? End the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
It's a big run there by McCoy. 53 yards. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. His throw caught at about the 5. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it, and they got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for 2nd down if they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up. That'd be the time to do it.
Now Rashad Penny, a loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Wentz going to throw. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
Here's Wentz to throw. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. How about the big boys snagging one? You don't see that every week.
No, you don't, but a lot of them are just reliving their old dreams, going back to when they were in youth football and in high school. They didn't always play defensive line. Some of them actually handled the football, and you can see the flashback when he grabbed that one.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll try and start this drive in the air. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he comes back with one complete. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Defensively, that's Earl Thomas, the all-pro safety, knocking it free.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
He'll drop to throw. Throw complete right side to Cooks. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in his performance.
Flush to his right. And Cooks has it over the middle. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. On the NFL scoreboard there in the 4th now in Carson. The gap has widened there. The Packers have scored again. A victory there would mean they're 6th on the year. Back to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. A gain of 6 there on first.
That completion helps out in a nice way. Now they can take a little bit more time, but guess what? They've got to make sure on their throws that they see it open, not just anticipate it.
They'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. That one good for 7 as this long drive continues and the chains move again.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Back to throw. Being chased out left. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Yannick Ngakoue in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
Detroit! Detroit! Gun! 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 All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
He's back to throw. Eluding the pressure right. His throw caught. What about the 5? And prior to this 3rd and 2 play, we're going to get a timeout call, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game. The Raiders on 3rd down. Not quite 50%. 4 for 9. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. A great play there in the final minute. And the Raiders, they're within an extra point of tying this thing up. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Jaguars getting set to go. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play. But if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. To throw is Wentz. He's going to sling this deep down. And got his man complete. And all the way down inside the 25 before he gets out of bounds. A big third down play there for the Jags. 53 yards. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Now Wentz. And Bryant's got it over the middle. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. As it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Wentz to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off with great anticipation. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, they thought they were going to break the tie. The defense had other plans. They were already in field goal range. But boom, an interception.
I don't know if this was a case of being a little bit too greedy with the opportunity to put points on the board. But give credit to the guys on the defensive side. Hung in there, battled, and made a key play.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he's going to be out of bounds up past the 5. It's a gain of 7, and it'll be a 2nd down.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes it's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
Detroit! Detroit!
Looking to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Jamar Taylor. And what an effort on the final play of regulation. All zeros on the clock, and we are headed to OT. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
Matt Day's on the return. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. Set for their first drive here in overtime. And this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team. And that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this...
Oh, wide open, complete. And he is in for the score. And it is absolute stunned silence here as they win it on the road in overtime. Partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime. A little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters what you wanted. But how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So for the Jaguars,
I like my bird.